Welcome to this very first episode of the Amiga CD32 Review Project, where I aim to review every single game ever released for the CD32. Since I'm going through the list of CD32 releases in alphabetical order, the very first title I've been taking a look at is Akira, and boy was that ever a tough start. Akira is based on the Japanese animated science fiction thriller of the same name. I have to admit that I've never watched that film though, so that won't color my judgment of the game. The first levels of the game sees you controlling a motorcycle on a broken down highway in Neo-Tokyo. Here you have to attempt to avoid obstacles, jump over holes in the road, and blast your way through roadblocks. The level design is really awful, and it quickly becomes a game of memorization. Remember to run down that cone, pick up that fuel tank, get that speed up marker, but not the other one, stay in the upper part of the screen, etc. And even after spending some time memorizing these things, the game is extremely unforgiving. Bad level design, if you ask me. Personally, I never got further than the end of the second part of level 1, the motorbike level, so I found some passwords online and skipped forward to see some of the other levels. The platforming levels had to be better, right? Wrong. The platforming in this game is downright awful. The jump is floaty, the controls are flaky. I swear that my characters sometimes change direction in mid-air without me touching the joypad. And the graphics are uninteresting, level design again very uninspired, so all in all, a very bad experience. But enough about my opinions. What did people back in the day think of Akira? Amiga Format gave it a whopping 18%. And they say, Akira is a game which should have appeared on a budget label 3 years ago, and even then it would have been poor. Amiga Power went even lower and gave them 16%, and said quite how a spectacular film has been turned into such an utterly wretched game isn't entirely clear. CU Amiga gave him 18% and said, if I said Akira on the Amiga was disappointing, it would be a massive understatement. And the lowest score I could find was the One Amiga magazine, who gave them 6%. And they said, the worst thing though is not that Akira looks cheap and nasty, but that it's unbelievably shoddy too. Surely anybody with a copy of Amos and half an eye for gameplay could come up with something better than this. So this was the very first episode of the Amiga CD32 Review Project. I hope you're not all too disappointed that I started off with such a bad game, but hey, Akira was the first one on the list going in alphabetical order. I'm sure there'll be some gems down the road, so stay tuned if you want to know more about the best games and the worst games released for the Amiga CD32. In my book, Akira for the CD32 only gets 1 out of 5 possible points. I'm sorry, but there's just not much to love here.